Well, I did not really introduce myself properly. I'm professor at the Department of Water Resources Engineering at Lund University, where I've been professor since 2003. And I work with research and education in the water topic, mainly drinking water supply, drinking water treatment, and drinking water chemistry. And since 2010, I have shared my time between the university and water utility in South Sweden called Sydvatten, South Sweden Water Supply. And the South Sweden Water Supply is what it is. It's a supply company that distributes drinking water to the southern part of Sweden, to about 900,000 Swedes in the south, Malmö, Lund, Helsingborg, Landskrona, and so forth. That water is very good drinking water, distributed and consumed. The consumption tends to increase from year to year because the population increases. And one challenge has been for the company, for the utility, to see that there are more innovation taking place in the water sector, both the drinking water side and the wastewater side. That is not really a key part for this utility, Sydvatten. But there are other organizations in the south that deals with also wastewater treatment. And as a kind of conclusion from that challenge, we discussed in that area and said, let's do something to enhance innovation work. And the idea was to get this water innovation. Because an innovation, you know, the definition of an innovation is not only that it's a bright idea. It's a bright idea where you can make business. Or, to be very frank, a bright idea where you can earn money. Because business is another word for making money. And the innovation, there are so many very good innovations that are not economically feasible. And they could be social innovations or organizational innovations, what you like, but they are not business innovations. But if it is a business innovation, it tends to have a very high survival expectation, because if there is money involved, if the money is coming in, if you can develop the company, if you can employ people, if you can sell good services, good products or what it is that you offer, and then you can get an earning from that system, then you can start doing more innovations and more investments and more development and more export and everything, so forth. So how do we get this thing to start? How do we get this thing to be initiated? Because everyone likes this. I mean, it's good to earn money. It's nice that people are employed. It's nice to develop new companies. I mean, it's a key for all political parties, more or less, well, at least in Europe. I would say almost in the world. So how do you get things? Well, it is a combination. It's a combination of attempts. So people are needed. People who have ideas and people who have ambitions and people who have energy. But it's also organizations, normally companies. But in our sector, in the water sector, organizations can also be utilities that can be publicly owned or privately owned. In Scandinavia or in Nordic countries, is normally publicly owned utilities. It's authorities. It can be environmental authorities. It can be environmental actors. And sometimes it can be NGOs. But they are not so important. But the Red Cross, for instance, and these organizations supporting environmental investments, I mean, like Greenpeace or what it could be, they could also contribute. But companies and utilities and in some cases authorities are important. And then an innovation will not be born unless it can be used. I mean, there must be some kind of need for the thing. But as we have seen now in this very interesting overview of how work can be developed and how good ideas can be born, these problems are not necessarily understood by those who own the problems. It's not until maybe someone brights up the light and say, look here is the problem. You, as we heard from Lappeenranta with his SME collaboration, that first the companies not necessarily understood that they had a problem, which was what the researchers had evaluated. So they needed 2 months to get adopted to the idea that yes, it is a problem, and maybe we need to get it solved. That's a very good example. And then in situations, in unexpected situations, I would guess today we have seen the birth of 3 new companies probably in this room. Maybe 5. We have to make a calculation next year, see how many it actually is. And interdisciplinary meetings. That's how to make business. So in 2012, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we saw in Lund that there was a call for good ideas to develop innovation. The Swedish, it was a subsidiary of Vinnova. It's not important, but there was a call, a public call, and we organized some people who wrote an idea how to do that, and we called it Water Innovation Accelerator. We shortened it WIN. We got extremely good comments from the owner of the call, and they said, yes, this is so good, please, but you have to change a little bit in your text. So we changed, of course, because we liked the money. And then when we sent it back again, they said, yeah, this is good, but we have no money. So sorry, we can't accept the application. So then we had done lots of work, and those who we thought would finance it didn't want to finance it. So then, okay, we said, let's do it despite lack of financing. Let's start together. Because you know from the Bible, all of you have, of course, read the Bible, and you know that Jesus, he made a miracle. He had a group with 5,000 people who were hungry, and he had only 2 fish and 5 bread with himself. So he brought that up and said, but I have some food. I have some fish and some bread, so I can feed you. And suddenly everyone could eat, and there were even buckets and baskets with extra fish and bread, because there was so much food. And maybe you recall it, but the interesting thing there was when Jesus told the people in the group that I am interested in giving you something, then he opened up for all the others who also, of course, had some food with them. So they all brought food together. And when we collected all the resources for this big group, there were lots of resources. It was enough for everyone. A little bit it's the same. We didn't get the first financing from the government, but we got a lot of companies. And yeah, we are, I can say this one. Everyone likes to show this, as we have seen it from Oslo and we have seen it from Finland. I mean, we have a Finnish company. We call it a company from Helsingborg because we think that the big factory is located in Helsingborg where they make the aluminum sulfate, so we like to say it's a Swedish company, but it's owned by Finland. It's not really important. The crucial thing is that we gathered and have continuing to gather stakeholders, public stakeholders, municipalities, Eslöv, Malmö, and Lund, and so forth, and private companies, utilities, and what you need. Universities, Lund University, the Agricultural University of Sweden, the University College in Kristianstad, and what we have. What we have seen is a very, very nice development. We have particularly coached new SMEs, and at present there are at least 12 SMEs working in collaboration with these. We use the partner companies. Here are some innovation companies. We use the partner companies to be inspiring the SMEs, so they can get instant feedback on their ideas. They can offer platforms for technology tests. All the utilities can say, okay, please come with your good invention, we can apply it here. Municipalities, they can support in tentative investments and also the private companies. We have a networking where we have meetings at least every third month, where the new SMEs, the innovation companies, they can present their ideas and their progress, and the partners, they can also offer direct applications. We have a very small staff. We have 3 persons who are employed part-time. So in total, it's something like 1.5, looking on annual number of people working. So it's very limited. But we use all the partner companies, they promise to contribute with time. So in total, we also have, I would say, something like 40 to 50 people who are involved physically and mentally in the process, in combination with these SMEs, which are the entrepreneurs. They have so much energy and they have so much ambition. So in total, I would say that we have started to develop a very nice, unusual open innovation system. Yeah, the champagne is here. I can talk, if you like, about the details. I think the setup with a combination of innovation companies and partner companies, meetings and direct coaching, inviting the SMEs so that they get a platform. They can have a room at this Swedish this science park in Lund, Ideon, what it's called. They can apply their technology, and they can get help with also finding new investors, because around the university in Lund there are a big group of investors, private investors, who are interested and who are quite wealthy, who are interested in investing in non-listed companies and see when these companies will then grow quickly. So, and there are also supporting systems around. So I think the idea of working with open innovation in the open meeting and keeping the interested people together is a quite interesting and fruitful way to do new SME development. Enough talking, and you haven't even shown the slides. So the champagne is here. Any questions, or shall we go and mingle, and then we can take the questions there? I guess we should take opportunity to question also the others. I would like to end the meeting, the formal meeting, now by saying from Novago, I guess I can say that thank you very much for coming. It has been very inspiring and very enlightening for me, and I hope that we can do this together several times, maybe in Oslo or in Copenhagen or in Lund or in, wherever next time. Thank you very much.